In an incredible twist of fate, detectives in another department at Metro-Dade Police had also been looking at Danny Lugo and Adrian Doorbal. Their case was the bizarre kidnapping of another Miami millionaire. Now Lugo and Doorbal were front and center of two cases. And for some inexplicable reason, neither did any of Schiller's employees or friends or extended family raise the alarm. With his family safely out of the country, Schiller was still suffering. Finally, the daily torture was too much. He gave up, giving the gang everything. Today, while Schiller refuses to talk about the charges, he does say he lost everything: his health, his home, his millions. And even now, with a big Hollywood movie, he won't get a dime.
Chris wanted to live here in South Carolina with his grandparents. And after the suicide threat, his father finally gave in. But the Christopher Pittman, who returned to Chester in November 2001, was a changed boy. It started, his family says, about a month before the shootings. After Chris threatened suicide in Florida, he was diagnosed with depression and put on the drug Paxil. When he moved to South Carolina, a doctor here switched him to Zoloft. Chris's family now believes side effects from Zoloft caused him to kill. Chris was found around 10 in the morning. His story about the 6'2" black kidnapper was so detailed, police initially believed him. But by 5 that evening, Chris's story began to unravel. He finally told what really happened to a sheriff's investigator named Lucy. The issue of abuse is important because prosecutors argue it's what drove Chris to kill his grandparents. They say that after a lifetime of harsh discipline at the hands of his father, getting paddled by his grandfather was just too much for the 12-year-old to take. But defense witnesses come to court with a very different theory.
And then one day, into Sandy Razzo's life walked Mr. Right, Tracy Humphrey, a 6'2" buffed-out muscle man who told everyone that he was a former underwear model and pro football player. There would be no romantic honeymoon to make up for the less than romantic impromptu wedding at the gym. A day after Tracy got married, the woman who had accused him of rape was murdered. Sandy Razzo was shot 8 times at point-blank range while she sat defenseless in her car. Turns out there was something else that Tracy had left off his resume. He was an ex-con, and he had done serious time, mostly for violent crimes against women.
The decision was to make a controversial and highly unusual deal. In exchange for truthful testimony about Samuel's lead role in the conspiracy, complete immunity from prosecution for everyone involved. Everyone, that is, except for Ron Samuels. Ron Samuels was extradited from Mexico and returned to Florida to stand trial here in West Palm Beach on 2 counts of attempted murder. The co-conspirators, under the grant of immunity, are scheduled to testify about their role in the plot to kill Heather and her second husband, John Grossman.